Hello and welcome. Today we're continuing on. We're getting closer and closer and closer to Infinity War, inch by inch. We're continuing on today with more discussion about Captain America. We are talking about his third film this round with Captain America Civil War.
Alright, I've run out of patience.
Captain America Civil War was released in 2016, and this by far is one of my favorite concepts that they've ever done for a storyline. It was directed by the Russo brothers, who did Infinity War, so you can kind of get the idea that we're getting closer and closer to the end and we're reaching our peak of our mountain. There is tons going on in this film. Winter Soldier was all about the NSA type thing, government, Illuminati, underlining conspiracy. Now we're done with that, but we're continuing with the aftermath, basically. We're continuing the aftermath of the conspiracy of Hydra. They're trying to figure out who's good, who's not, and are the Avengers really good? Or are they doing more damage than what it's worth? And it gives you so much to think about, and it's really such an underrated question to have and to discuss. The government wants to step in after Scarlet Witch is too powerful and she ends up killing more people than it's worth. You have Tony Stark, Iron Man's side, who he's just a human in this form, and he's still taking in, and he's the one that has so much anxiety and is still trying to overcome his mistakes in the past of being in the weapon industry.
Okay, hey. Sorry, it's occupational hazard.
I work for the State Department. Human Resources. I know it's boring, but it enabled me to raise a son. I'm very proud of what he grew up to be. His name was Charlie Spencer. You murdered him.
And he has so much guilt that he's dealing with that he goes along with the government saying that yes, the government will now choose when the Avengers can step in. Steve Rogers is the opposite end of it, and he says that no, we are losing our freedom, we're losing our choice. And he comes from old school America before everything happens and all this technology comes into play and everything is just going haywire, and it's so much more fast paced than it used to be. And I'm always on Captain America's side in this realm. I definitely always was Team Captain, even when it came out. Team Captain all the way and for the win. And it's the biggest battle between them. You have your two sides, and it all comes down to them collecting their team members and having a gigantic battle. It's a really super underrated topic, and it gives you so much to think about, and it's definitely something that is a fantastic storyline and definitely one of my favorites. I mean, this one isn't an Avengers film, but we have so many of the Avengers in here for Captain America film that it is more like an Avengers film compared to just Captain America. But I do love that Captain America still has all this that he has to deal with, and he goes through a lot. He has to go and deal with Peggy's death. Peggy Carter finally dies, and deal with her funeral, which is so heartbreaking. It really is such a heartbreaking scene. Plus he's still trying to work out and help Bucky out, and Bucky comes more into play, and you do find out how he was brainwashed by Hydra and what he was used for. And there's a lot of secrets that are being let out, and it goes on top of the fighting that's already happening with the government basically manipulating their minds and the villains manipulating them to fight. Black Panther is introduced in this film, Wakanda is introduced in this film, and Wakanda is starting to play a really big part, but we don't know Wakanda as it is truly form, as its truest form is yet. They are still portraying themselves as a really poor third world country, and there's a lot of the family issue going around, it starting to piece together in this sense. leading up to Black Panther. We're leading up to Black Panther, which is really cool. Spider-Man's also introduced, and Spider-Man is on Tony's team because he doesn't know any better, and he's just a sweet kid. Tom Holland gives me so much life, and he's so pure and wonderful, and I love his portrayal of Spider-Man, and it's so underrated and definitely one of my favorites. I think this one was so much more well done compared to Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, it's still fantastic, but when it comes down to everything, it's like down here, and Civil War is up here. So totally different playing fields, but I'm really excited to have this, and it's really great to know that we're just getting closer and closer and closer to Infinity War, and it all leads up to that. Tomorrow we have one more character to introduce with Doctor Strange. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So stay tuned, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.